Okay. I think. Aha! You should be able to hear me now. Up in music a bit. Alright. I have to just the palette angel. Slightly. There we go. Alright. Okay. That was frantic beginning on my end. Hello, welcome to Basically Tabletop painting live stream. Now, today we're going to be painting some white scars, which I have a finished one here. We're going to be finishing, or not finishing, not even close to finishing. We're going to be effectively starting one of his buddies. That's what we're going to be doing for the whole afternoon. We might do that for some of the freeform painting later. I just have to move some stuff around on my desk. If anyone's here, feel free to jump in the chat, tell me how you are doing. I feel like ironically I was more prepared for the test stream than I was for the first official stream. Go figure. Damn it. Actually, we need that painting handle. I've got them all on corks. That's what we're going to be starting with. Oh, that cam did not like focusing on that. Hold on. Less light. See if it likes that better. Actually, get this a little lower. What do we want? Yeah, that seems good. Okay. So, yeah, I'm painting these in sub-assemblies, and my system is... Actually, before I get on that... It's weird how something like it seems like less light's better. There's probably a setting on my... on this cam, which is actually just my phone. Well, it's an app. Streams with OBS. Probably a setting there to make that better, but I haven't figured that out yet. We'll get there. Alright. So if people want to use my techniques as we go along, with sub-assemblies, what I've learned is something you should do before you even prime is all of the peg holes. Actually take a little hand screwdriver. Not hand screwdriver, hand drill. I don't remember the name of those, but this is the one I primarily use. I was using the GW, the Citadel one, for a long time. But yeah, I find a bit that's slightly bigger than the holes, and I just widen them out inside, all of them. So after they're primed and then airbrushed, so I prime them with an airbrush, then I base coat them their primary color with an airbrush to seal it all in. After all that paint's on there, they have a very hard time fitting in. You really gotta fight it. So what I do is I open up all the holes. So so with that done, then I go in with an airbrush. I prime them. I prime these guys using StenoRes. StenoRes primers are made for airbrushing. Although I still thin them and airbrush Flow Improver a little bit. And these guys were then base coated with Army Painter Matte White, also through the airbrush. Also like super thinned. I usually throw in a little bit of Flow Improver first, then some thinner, then the paint, and I mix it all up. In the airbrush like a plebeian, because I haven't bothered to figure out another system of doing that outside the airbrush. So it is what it is. So we're now going to start by putting brush to this, which I'm still getting a lot of reflection on that. Let's see, how's that? Oh, now I'm having a hard time focusing on anything. We'll go back to that. We'll find the balance somewhere. This will be a lot less so as I put more color on it, which I'll start with. The opposite, we'll start with black. There's actually some, still some moist black on there from my painting last night. And I was working on the Vanguard Veteran that I started at the end of the test stream on Saturday, which you can find that VOD on the profile and on YouTube. Actually, it should already be up on YouTube by now. That's also just under basically tabletop, which should be, you throw in exclamation mark and then any of my platforms, and it'll give you the link. So I was painting this last night. So the black is still wet from that, so we're gonna go ahead and just use that. I'm using a Monument Hobbies size 1 sable brush from their Pro series. These things are amazing, if a little bit on the pricey side. But they're my go-to source for brushes for last over a year now. Which, in over a year, this is only my second set of the sable brushes. I'm still using the same set of their synthetics. So what my scheme is here is all of the is the belt and all of the soft bits of the armor, all of the flex points. Gonna be black. I mean, it's standard White Scar's palette. Also, if I start deviating out of frame, do throw in the chat. Get that back in the frame, you doofus. You can't see what you're doing. Negates the point. And I'm not going, while I'm trying to maintain control of the brush, I'm not worried too much about screwing up, as you know, we're still base coating, so I mean, like, especially getting like black on pouches, there's gonna be brown anyway. And a lot of the white around here is gonna be heavily shadowed anyway, like all up in there in that crevice. It's all gonna be heavy shadow anyway, and under the backpack, so like really low visibility. Black is actually being very what do you call it? Cooperative today. It's nice. Oh, very smooth. I think it's because it's sat overnight in the wet palette. Which, for reference, that is a Redgrass wet palette. I love their stuff. I will absolutely shill Redgrass's work anytime I get. Been using that specific wet palette for over 2 years now. I only just got the new sponges. I mean, when you get one, if memory serves, when you get your first one, you get a oh, thanks for the follow. Yes, that follow thing worked. It wasn't working in the test stream. Now it works. Awesome. Thanks for the follow, man. Yeah, if memory serves, when you first buy Woodgrass. Hey Boric, it's going great. How you doing? And it's coming up on the little chat box because that's new from that's a new addition from the test stream as well. Man, it's really small. I don't know, I'll try to figure that out later. I wanted the chat to be visible for when people are watching it later or on YouTube, they can tell what's going on. Just, I couldn't figure out how to keep this big enough to be worth anything. I don't know, maybe I'll ditch the face cam until I have a cam that can go in front of me, so it's not like my face behind my phone rig and the light and everything. I don't know. Alright, anyway, back to the painting. So when you first get a red grass palette, I'm pretty sure you get an extra sponge. So like I only just had to get a new sponge in the last couple weeks. It lasts forever. Alright. So that looks like all the black on this guy. Clean out my brush, which I use. Every painter should have this or its equivalent. The Master's Brush Cleaner and Preserver. It's a little like soap puck. Like wipe your brush through, rinse it, and just repeat until your brush is nice and clean. And it also conditions the brush bristles. This is how you keep your brushes lasting a long time. And again, super clean brushes, so you can use the same brush going from color to color without losing any, you know, color clarity or accidental blending. Not all blending is great. Let's jump to the brown. I wanna get these big, bold, dark colors done first, and then we have a little bit of metal. And we can move on to more detail stuff. The thing I've noticed with brown on white is that you are like absolutely required to do multiple passes. Like you are not getting away with a single pass of oh, this is for reference, this is Mornfang brown that I'm using right now. You are like required to do multiple passes going over a white base. Which is actually, in this case, kind of more of a feature, because you end up with a much more organic, like an organic gradient form of like the color like shifting and waving across the piece because of the multiple coats. Why does it keep doing that? I wonder if it's just because everything's so hot. I've got a new fan pad for my laptop that's powering all this coming in tomorrow. Maybe that'll fix some of this. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I keep seeing my this main cam keeps pixelating all of a sudden for a second. Oh, I got a bunch under the blade. That's fine. A lot of the weight is gonna get like a bunch of coats of a whole bunch of crap. So, again, not super worried about messing up right now. Yeah, I'm gonna need more brown. I was just reusing some leftover. Rinse up the excess. So yeah, using Mornfang brown. It's my brown base on all these pouches. There we go. But because acrylic paint is transparent inherently, even though that looks pretty opaque, it's still gonna pull a little bit from the irregularity of the coats beneath it. So it's gonna get that organic flow I was talking about. It's good considering I'm trying to make these look like actual leather. Get in there. The actual inside of the holster. I try to get all of this inner holster done, like everything I can get a brush to touch, just in case. Because I can never tell exactly what is gonna be, you know, visible later. Like, yeah, probably like in there is not, but you never know what friggin' angles. Which is why I really like painting in sub-assemblies. Yeah, I know I'm like sticking the brush right in the camera. Sub-assemblies allow me to easily get my brush into every little nook and cranny, so I can be sure when it's all assembled it looks, you know, real. You know, it's not you look at from a weird angle and there's just stuff missing, you know. I keep tapping my phone with my glasses, which is what I'm using for this main cam. So how's everyone's week going so far? Only on Monday, so we still got time to accomplish stuff. Anyone got anything good planned for the week? Gotta wait for that inset to dry. That's kind of what I'm slowing down here. Okay, yeah, while that's drying, I'm gonna do small ones. Do a pass over them. Let me actually adjust my whole form here. There we go. really can't tell why it keeps pixelating like that. Anyway. So yeah, I am painting this White Scar, and painting White Scars for foreseeable future, because I actually have a very large, high detail commission. I have a whole bunch of these. I've done a bunch so far. I got plenty more to go. I have, including this guy, 7 more Assault Intercessors, 3 Blade Guard veterans, 3 Outriders. Could be Twitch. I've seen a few streamers have an issue lately. Oh, okay, well that's great to hear. It's not me. It's not my stuff. I will gladly lay blame at Twitch's feet. So thanks for that, Borak. That peace of mind. Oh yeah, so 7 Assault Intercessors, 3 Blade Guard veterans, Blade Guard agent, Primaris out 3 Primaris Outriders, a chaplain on a bike, and Karsara Khan himself. Which Karsara is going to be quite fun, I think. It's got a lot of detail going on there. Fortunately, ironically, for like the most detailed model in the whole set, he comes pre-built. I can't break him up. Apparently, it was done with plastic glue. But, oh well, let's work around that. It's fine. I can use a lot of inks on him. I love using inks. Probably the biggest immediate advice I can give to people wanting to up their detail game, well, 2 things, is get sable brushes, like this one, and then using what I'm doing now is I've got both my elbows planted on the table, and then I push my hands together in some kind of way. The most consistent form is, you know, heel to heel. But if you notice, like right now, I'm pushing against both the cork and my fingers. So I have some kind of anchor, and it really steadies the hands a lot. And then I paint with my fingers. So I have all these little motions. Gives me a lot of control, a lot of stability. The model is not moving unless I want it to. There, I'd say that's all the brown done. Next is going to be the bottom cap of the holster, which I make metallic. Which, let's see if the metal here is still wet enough to use. Nah, nothing's coming out of that. That's fine. That's just gonna be a standard everyday, good old. It's a bunch of stuff on it. I cleaned half my desk. Some of my desk just got pushed off to like the corner. Not gonna lie. Let's put this there. Alright. This is just good old-fashioned lead belcher. This is an old pot that's nearly done. I've got like 4 pots of lead belcher. I don't remember how I ended up with 4 pots of lead belcher, but that exists now. I know there's gonna be people, probably later on YouTube if I had to guess, that are gonna be like, no, don't be using metallics for your sable brushes, you'll ruin them. I have not seen that problem with appropriate cleaning care. Like I keep hearing like, oh, you'll never get the metal flakes out of the bristles. I'm like, you don't spend enough time cleaning your brushes then. I have concern. Never had that problem. I have been painting mace 35 years, never a problem. Like you said, as long as you clean brush cut. Yeah, right? Like, I don't know why I've, like, I've heard this multiple times from multiple people, pros and amateurs alike, and they're like, no, don't use your sable brushes for metallics, don't use them for shaders, don't, all kinds of stuff. I'm like, what do you use your sables for then? What's left? Like, I use, like, this size 1 is like my workhorse. Like, all my basic painting, more or less, I use this for. Like, obviously, I don't use them for dry brushing or, the odd time I'm stippling, like, clearly. Yeah, no. Just, standard brush care should handle everything else. You know, and this is actually, the size 1 is the reason I got a new set of sable brushes, recently, was because the old one was just completely worn out. Its body had lost all of its, you know, tensileness. And, that's because, yeah, I used it, like, every single time I paint it for 95% of the painting. It's like, yeah, that'll do it by itself. It's just, you know, not from how I painted with it. Alright, I'm gonna do another pass to the lead belcher and then base coating done. We're probably going to get the torso and the legs done today, if I had to guess. Or at least I'd like to get the torso and legs done today. Pick up on the arms tomorrow. That looks pretty good. Now for appropriate rinsing and cleaning. That'll be fine. There'll be no metal flakes in the probably Dawnstone. Is probably what I'm doing next. Yeah, that is a... It's not going to focus on that close enough for you to see anything. Never mind. It's a clean brush, just trust me. You have to take me at my word for it. It's a clean brush. So, some Dawnstone. This is going to be what I put on all of the black trim. The belt and the soft areas. I'm just going to put right on this where I had Dawnstone from last night. Alright, so we got behind the knee, the belt, and the back. Actually, a little bit of the back. Apparently, I messed with the black, but yeah, it's fine. The next step will probably fix that. So this part, I might actually switch to using a size 0 for this, not gonna lie. The angle, trying to get you guys an angle is a little tricky here. But I just want to put Dawnstone along these ridges, right with that tip. Trying to get behind the holster is a little bit of a trick of angles. I think there is something to, you want to be good at painting minis, get good at geometry. Man, angles can really work in your favor if you do it right. There we go. Keep tapping the cam. Alright. Now. Belt. You know, your dad's weapon of choice. Just a little bit on the brown. I don't want that. Not at this point. Oh, come on. I need this downstone just a little bit. Yeah. A little bit more flowy. A little bit thinner. Not too thin though. There we go. Gentle application. Guess what we want. I don't know why there's a white dot there, but we'll come back to that in a second. So Borak, you painting anything yourself? You just hanging out? What's on the hobby desk? I have curiosity and questions. I'm out of frame. Kate 6 bust? That sounds awesome. Yo, I want to see it. Let me... This command... Do I have this command set up? We do Discord. I have a server, and I'd love to see it. Nice. I do have that. Those commands properly set up. I need a little bit more downstone on the back there before we move on. As to what to paint next, well, I mean, you have a printer, so I mean, like, the sky's the limit. You feeling continuing with the sci-fi theme, or are you thinking more fantasy? Then probably next question is more metallic or organic. At least that's how I'd think about it if I'm going from a purely painting perspective. I mean, me individually right now for my personal painting, I'm going through Vanguard vets for my Raven Guard army, as I'm trying to just paint everything in my current, like, go-to 2K army. Feeling fantasy. Yeah, I mean, after painting effectively a robot, I'm not surprised, really. Get something organic to mix it up. Maybe something dirty and organic. Like, really go the opposite of Cade 6, you know? So he's a little rugged, but he's still like on the cleaner end of things, you know? Oh yeah, you joined the Discord. Yeah, you can, if you have pics, go ahead and toss them in the, model showcase. Honestly, I don't really care that's not 40k, it's just, I will probably remove all the 40k tags on it. On all those, anyway. Just haven't gotten to that. Alright, so the Dawnstone. Next is actually going to be Null Oil. So we're going to actually mute down and, you know, semi-blend in the Dawnstone into the black, and we're going to add a little depth to our pouches. And, there you go, a link dropped. Yeah, absolutely. Let's go see. Oh, wow. Look at you go. That is silky smooth. Woof. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and, if I don't already follow you on this on Instagram, which is a decent chance I do. No, I don't. I'm not following you on Instagram. Well, I'm following you now. That's happening. Wow. Okay. Let's not get distracted by Instagram right now. You got it, man. I am always quick to give real talent or real skill the attention it deserves. So, you know, not me. Nah, I think I do okay for myself. Been painting for nearly... How long has it been? 5 years? It was like... right as 8th edition for 40k came out. I've been doing commissions for a year now. Once you're happy with your work, you do, that's all that matters. I still think my stuff sucks. I mean, look at that Cade model. Really got I mean, that leather is gonna make these leather pouches look like a joke. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, just know that me explaining like effectively painting basics and what I'm doing is mostly for people watching the VOD later. It's definitely not for you. I think you might already know just about all the wisdom I can dish out. Gonna get a little bit normal around the button there and around the latch here, and then this whole piece with a little bit above the curve there. Give a little bit of a shadowing going on there. But for fantasy, I'd be thinking some, for your next project, I'd be thinking like, some like ogres or something like that. I've learned more from chilling out on Twitch than I ever did before. You can never have too much knowledge. Oh yeah, totally. I've probably learned more painting stuff from just looking at other people's models on Instagram than anything else and being like, I wonder how they did that. Maybe they did this, and then I went and tried stuff. Effectively. I think that's been the primary means of me gleaning knowledge. I mean, I watch the occasional painting YouTuber that does tutorials when I want something very specific. But yeah, it's just mostly like osmosis. I'm gonna get a little bit more in between the pouches there. Alright. So we'll let that dry. That might be a little on the dark end, but it's fine. It'll be okay. But I'm really hoping this whole next while of me mostly painting white scars on stream is going to help people overcome their fear or frustration with white armor. Because I found a system that gives you pretty good results, and it's not like very technique intensive. It just takes, you know, a lot of patience. Actually gets you this. Oh, you just got a bunch of known oil on that. Yeah, that's fine. It'll come out in the wash. Oh, you know what we're gonna do? We'll wait. I'm gonna paint this little wire thing here. Paint that red. Is this red still good? It's got anything? Oh, it's got a little bit of stuff. It seems to be wetted. Wetted. And yeah, also part of the stream was like, I've thought about streaming for a while, and then I hit a point where my other jobs had kind of slowed down to a crawl. So all I was doing was painting like this commission day in, day out. Like I've already done 10 Assault Intercessors, 3 Outriders, and Apothecary, which you can all find on my Instagram. But I was just like, yeah, I'm just painting full time. Why am I not streaming this? This seems obvious. So I spent the weekend setting the stream infrastructure up. And now here we are. Now I'm gonna try streaming 40 hours this week and see what times did the best and kind of figure out a long-term game plan from that. Alright, so that was some leftover corn red down the wire. Next I'm going to use Wild Rider Red to highlight it. Then I'm gonna pull a trick. Trick that's gonna be oft repeated through this whole project. A little bit more up here. Oop, I hit the camera again. All right. That contrast of light red to dark red might seem a bit off, or, you know, could be better. So we're going to take some Vallejo Game Ink Red. Pop a little bit of this on the palette. That's way more than we need, but there's no way of getting less than that out of the droppers. I still prefer droppers over pots any day, though. We're just gonna top coat this. The whole thing in this ink. And that is going to smooth out the whole thing because it's going to increase the saturation and brighten the dark red a little bit, and it's going to slightly darken and saturate and darken and saturate the orange. So when that dries, that will be a very vibrant red. Because when you take Wild Rider Red and you top coat it with Game Ink Red, you get this very high saturation red I use here. How's our Known Oil? Yeah, Known Oil went on a little dark, so that's fine. It'll get softened later. I'm gonna pop on the... Actually, no, I'm gonna wait on that. Next step is going to be highlighting the leather, which is gonna be Rakarth Flesh. I think I'm gonna actually switch over to size 0 for this. Huh. Anyway. It's getting pinged on Discord. Nothing I have to actually worry about. Gonna get all of the corners kind of on the messy end with Rakarth Flesh. Because we want that kind of worn look. And the light, I know I just said I don't use stable brushes for dry brushing, but like it's very light. It's like barely dry brushing really, but it's just like wiping off. Oh, bits of paint. I didn't get super thick on the top here with the brown, but it's fine, it'll blend in. I'm just really trying to make a mess of this thing. And of these as well. Yeah, it came off a little thick. Okay, these are all roughed up. We have one more step to really imprint the look here of kind of a rawhide, actually. Kind of the look we're going for. Also in about 15 minutes or so, around 2:45-ish. Eastern, we're going to be taking probably a 10-15 minute break, maybe up to 20 minutes, as I have to go prep and put in a roast for dinner for the fam tonight. The stream's going to remain live. We're just going to go to our BRB screen for that time. Probably closer between 15 and 20 minutes actually. It's got oven's got a preheat, and then while it's preheating I season it. Once it's in, I got turn it down, let sit in there for 8 minutes, and then turn the oven off, and then I return. So yeah, probably closer to 15-20 minutes. Alright, so next, not a brush that big. I want a... Where's my size 2? There we go. These, again, Monument Hobbies is a Pro Synthetic size 2 I've had for quite some time now. I'm going to use this to apply a shader. Like a color, what's it called? Color adjust, I don't know. In any case, what I'm doing, I'm applying a top coat of contrast skeleton horde. This is gonna blend everything together. I'm just, like I said, top coat, so I just apply it to the whole thing. If it doesn't have enough of an effect, I'll go back and do another one after it's fully dried. Alright. Hydrate. I need to figure out how to set that up as a bits thing I've seen other people do. You can use, actually I don't even know if I have bits unlocked, to be honest. I might have to get a little bit bigger for that. But they got a bits thing where you can get signals to hydrate. It'll be dry in just a minute here. Yeah, I kind of needed to dry to do the last step on the pouches, and we move on to the white armor, which is everything that's left for this piece. I need, that looks good enough for the bottom anyway, the main part. What's left is doing the highlights on the metal bits. Yeah. Using iron breaker. Apply this with a size 0 brush. Here. Posture. It's important. Oh, thanks. I'm wondering if I might have to throw another top coat on it. Eh, maybe not. Might be fine. Let's get in under here. There we go. Yeah, thanks, Mark. Did you ever decide what you're painting next? Or what you're printing to paint next? Still thinking fantasy ogres. Or goblins. Something along those lines. But yeah. And like, gummy mouth. A little early in the stream to begin gummy mouth. Not good. Alright, last little bit is the button snaps. A little bit of iron breaker right on there. Mermaid print, nice. What you got for a printer, if you don't mind me asking? Or printers? Alright, that's the pouches completely done. Little snaps and... I gotta figure a way of fixing the reflectiveness. I feel like it wasn't that bad before. Maybe it's the EV? Someone that uses cameras like all the time, you think I'd know more about it, because I'm like, is EV the thing that fixes it? I don't know. I think if I go that way, I think it's better. It's something like that. Nah, I'm putting UV back. So it's just making everything look dark. Yeah, sure. There. Peace. Yeah, stuff I gotta look into. Like, I almost wonder if... Okay, so I want to try it on just before. Nope, I keep passing it. Here, I wonder if this will work better. A little softer. No, I think it actually does look a bit more true to color. In any event, pouches are done. And I want to get the first step in the white done before I go take care of that roast. Just gonna be delicious, by the way. I make a good roast. It's all about your seasoning selection. And I keep forgetting what exactly I put on it, so I keep just following my nose. and then it comes out delicious every time. It's like, I know it's like, I was like onion powder, garlic powder, usually like thyme. Oh, I always break up some bay leaves and scare that about. That I think helps a lot. So all right, so first step on the white, and I get distracted by cooking. I'm gonna take size 1. I'm gonna take contrast apothecary white. This is where the magic really starts. I'm going to drag some of this into... Where the left from? I think that's normally on the top. Whatever. Most of it will... Most of the mistakes will be covered by the time we're done. And I'm going to apply this apothecary white into all of the recesses in a fairly thick line. What this is going to do for us is step 1 in shading white. It's going to make like an artificial shadow effect. And like a gradient, effectively. Oop, I'm out of frame. Because I keep hitting my brush right now on the cam. I gotta think of a solution to that. If I stick the cam back farther and I just zoom in more, I think the camera can handle it. Oh, where else Way come from? Oh, okay, it just stuff like stuck to it, I guess. Oh, sure thing, Bart. Have a great day. Best of luck with the mermaid. Hope to catch you around again. I'll be, I'll be streaming most of the day and most of every day this week, so don't be a stranger. Alright, so the first layer of shading done, which you can already tell that all of the edging seems to stand out a lot more. Seems a lot more 3D. It's now 1/4 of, so I'm gonna go see to that roast. Gonna leave you chilling with the music, which I'm gonna increase a little bit while you guys are hanging out. And I will return in about 20 minutes or so. Do take this time to grab a snack, grab a drink, use the bathroom, check out my socials, which will be on the screen in a second, or just put the name of any social into the chat after an exclamation point. I'll send you a link. I'm gonna, when I get back, also set up my link tree to have a link, so you can just do exclamation point links and just get all of them. Alright, I will return. Alright, we are back. Let me drop this music a little bit. Alright, yeah. Sorry, it took a little longer than expected. It only took me a half hour. Oven took forever to heat up. Alright, so we are also just realized I think this helps low. I don't know if that helped any. Whatever. Alright. So we did the initial step for the shading, which is a little hard to see through the camera. You can see it pretty well up here. Where we took Apothecary White contrast and we just drew that along all of the recesses. Okay, next is a precision shader, which is a homemade mix. I didn't design the ratio, but I made it. Put it in a dropper bottle. This is 2 parts Apothecary White, 1 part Black Templar contrast. See here, and 1 part Lamian Medium. Put a bunch of it into a dropper bottle and shake vigorously. If you do a ton of it, like I did with this, it'll stay for quite some time because there's just so much liquid to go around. I'm gonna use a size 0 sable brush and start putting it right on the deepest points of the recesses. While I'm doing that, how's everyone else doing? Yeah. I had a thought and I lost it. No! Don't do that! Don't run away! Well, that's gone. So much for whatever I was about to talk about. I just left. And this is gonna be like, it's the same idea as black lining, just a lot more precise, and it won't go quite as dark in reality. My hand is entirely in the camera's way. Let's go, let's try this. It won't go true dark, which combined with the Apothecary White will actually give you a nice, like, gradient appearance. Actually, it dries a lot darker than it initially looks when you first put it on. That one I went out of. Fortunately, it's not a super visible area, but let's try to fix that. Go upside down with it. Nice. It's looking pretty good, right? It's actually gonna help us in cleaning up a lot of this for us, basically. Some of it's just going to end up underneath it. Darkened to the point you're not going to tell that it was brown underneath. As well as giving us more appearance of depth. Oop, I don't want a bunch of it on the pouch itself, though. Yeah, got it. I don't know why my camera's having such a hard time maintaining focus. Compared to, like, Saturday, I had no problems. Basically. Like, it was sharp the whole way through. Wonder if there's a setting I changed. Like, accidentally. Or a setting I have to change in one of the various apps I use to make all this happen. And it resets every time, so I did not change it this time. I don't know. Sure, I'll figure it out over time. Here's a part that's kind of hard to get just right, but it's really impactful if you do. It's right up in here. I get it? I got it. Nice. Oh, I forgot to shade around this. Give me a second. I'm gonna fix that before we move on. Man, I got just a little bit of flame back there. Just don't want to go away. I don't know where it came from. Alright. That's fixed. Hydrate. Just gonna call hydration points manually. Just time to hydrate everybody. Because it's hot. And sure we have appropriate amount of water. I mean, even when it's not hot, you should be working towards ensuring you have an appropriate amount of water, but even more so when it is hot. Which, if you're in the US or really, you know, most of the northern hemisphere, it's pretty hot. Or at least humid. Like, it's 85 here, and I don't have AC in the space I'm in. I am underground, so it's a little bit cooler. So it's probably more like 80 in here. And I do have a dehumidifier, which is keeping it around 55% humidity. So, like, I'm still in a light sweat just all the time. This is probably good because I'm trying to up my fitness game anyway. Actually, just suddenly went under 140 pounds Friday. Hit like 138 all of a sudden after maintaining 140 for a couple weeks. That was a big deal for me. I've been trying to drop gut fat for a while now. When I started, I was 160. It did not look or feel great. That was a year ago. So I wasn't pushing it that entire time. I was kind of like pushing it during the fall, and then I kind of fell off the boat during the winter and then started back up again in the spring. Which I think overall is fine. Like, if you can do better than that, do it. But just because of the situation I was in, I just didn't. Just chose not to. It's looking pretty good. Alright, it's starting to look a lot more, again, a lot more 3D. Oh, there's one spot I keep missing right till the end, or, you know, saving for last, I could say. Yeah, I'm just saving it for last. Alright, next up, if you noticed, we have all of these, like, indents in the armor. It's like little, like, trench-like things. I actually go a step up for those. You're gonna use Contrast Black Templar to flat-out blackline them. I could just use, you know, black, like, paint. You know, like Abaddon Black or Matte Black from Army Painter, but I like this because it's way more liquidy and like, I don't know, it forms to the whole thing better. Because it kind of flows on its own into the trench. Which, because I can't think of a better word to describe these things, I'm just going to call them trenches. They look like little trenches. I don't know what their actual, like, purpose is in the armor. Besides providing a weak spot, I suppose. They're probably, like, buttons and stuff. If I had to, like, legitimately guess, like these, the square ones, these are probably just like buttons that do stuff, or little, like, hatches. They probably move is the point. Or they're like bolt caps. Like they're parts where the armor like bolts together, and then an armored cap to protect the bolt with the same material the rest of the plate is covered in. The rest of the interior workings is protected by. Ooh. Get you back in the frame here. Okay, that one got pretty messy at the end there, but it's fine. So we haven't gotten to highlighting yet, which is going to clean up most of our mistakes for us. What's really annoying about this specific trench? Just smeared it a bunch. And there's always a fixing step. Is in the molding process, there's usually a little, I don't know what you call it, like a rise in the plastic here, along here. Just rise in the plastic all along here-ish. It's not a perfect trench you can just trace in. So it usually goes a little weird. I am screwing this up. Is that all of them? Everything? Oh, nope, there's one on the foot. I had a feeling I saw one somewhere that I hadn't gotten to quite yet. Maybe if I turn this a little bit here, we can get better, yeah, I think that works better. Cool. Alright. Now we have all the depth. Actually, I just realized there is a bit of stuff that could use some of the last step. Not the Black Templar, but the mix. Along the soft seal behind the knee here. There we go. Alright, first step of highlighting, which is going to be just a highlight, not an edge highlight just yet. I'm using Corex White, which is an off-white, as darker than the matte white. And this is important because it's going to work with the shaders we put down and the edge highlight to create like a illusory effect to make the whole thing look way sharper than it is. Just trying to clean this brush. Doesn't want to come clean. There we go. Alright, using a size 1, and because this paint is kind of a pain, I'm going to take a little bit of Vallejo Airbrush Flow Improver, pop a little bit of that onto my palette. I'm going to mix in just a little bit here and there. Kind of thins it a little bit. Also removes surface tension, which is all very usable. Oh, I just hit Palette Angel. And the idea here is to go along all the edges and kind of put a strip along that edge, which we're actually just going to do the entire top of this collar because it's too thin to realistically do two, two sides on it. It's also going to clean up that probably Nuln Oil I got on it. I do have some flies going on down here. Just like someone injured one of them. And I got so many spiders in here over the spring, and I was like, yeah, you guys just set up for the summer to help me out, right? Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. Yeah, I got up their rent. I actually shouldn't really spend time highlighting that back line, because that's just going to disappear into the backpack. Just like out of habit, I just hit everything. I think is like a good habit to struggle with. More often than not, it'll help you. I can't say only help you, but more often than not, it'll help you. It's probably gonna take a few coats to fix up that, whatever that black is. Probably known oil. It's okay. Let's revisit it a couple times as we go through. I have an idea. Yeah, I think this angle works a lot better. It's a lot more natural for me. I'm able to get closer to it. I'm not hitting my brush on the camera. This is way better. Alright, so I got some in the trench here, so I actually just rinsed my brush off, and because it's very liquidy, I'm just throwing my brush back in there to absorb it. We'll probably get most of this out of there. Yeah, just try to get enough before it dries that you don't have to go back and redo the Black Templar, because that's annoying when everything else is already done. Because you usually screw it up and have to do the other spots over again. Like the other colors, the highlight and the edge highlight. Do it again. Hit my head in the camera arm again. Jeez. Yeah, I think I'm too late for that. I'm gonna have to re-blackline up, but yeah, well. Okay. Okay. Carrying on. There's a lot of pixelization, and oh, it's still pixelizing. Go in there. Done? Are you done now? Jeez. think we're getting there. Yeah. Alright, next is White Scar for the highlight and then cleanup. Oh, don't mind me when I take a stress break. Okay. Alright. Now the inside of my arms, my pecs hurt. I don't have a crick in my neck. So, next we got White Scar. And now we're on to a proper edge highlight, which is just simply drag the side of your brush along the corners. Oh man. This is usually my biggest slump during the day. Around 4. Ugh. Okay. What is pinging me and why? Getting a lot of Discord pings today. You know what's also not helping is that I am actually very hungry. But I can't be messing up my eating schedule. There's usually quite a wide gap between my breakfast and well, I guess lunch, my middle meal. Dinner for everyone else, because I live on a later in the day schedule for the most part. I'm trying to remember where I was. Where was I? Just like a chunk of paint came off of me. It's like all the way to the bottom. That sucks. I'm gonna have to fix that. Wonder what happened. I think it's just the humidity is making it so the primer isn't holding on very well. Alright. Oh boy. Alright. Between afternoon slump, being really hungry, and that being the most tedious part of this whole thing. That was rough. But we're now at now the cleanup phase, basically. Everything doesn't look right, now it's time to fix it. I'm actually going to start with popping just a little bit of the primer onto my palette, so I can brush apply it in a few spots. It's actually an issue. Actually, before I do that, I want to check a few things. Bear with me for a second, I'm just handling some maintenance stuff. Okay. Like flies. Okay. Alright, so now we're gonna brush apply some primer, because that's always great, but humidity for you. Oh, more of it came off. Nice. This will dry out and hopefully fix that while I'm cleaning up the rest of this. Yeah, there's spots where it's like... Yep, that is not a black spot like I thought it was. That is straight up a problem. Yeah, it's gotta be the humidity. I've not changed how I've been doing these and for a while now. See, I know all that underneath, that's black stuff. Let's start with fixing the black lining, then we'll fix the rest of the stuff. So, back to contrast Black Templar. Oh, last. Going in another coat of the primer. Alright, next step. This away from last night, kind of usable? A little bit. Some flow improver in there, nothing down to what's still there. This might be usable. Kinda. Alright. Just clean up all the crap on all the white. Okay, I'm not sure what's happened to my stuff. I think maybe my laptop is overheating again. That's not great. Okay, I'm gonna take a you know what? This deep in, I'm gonna say we're gonna call the stream early as I'm having a hard time keeping going as well, and my laptop is I think overheating with how hot it is. So I gotta take some time to cool it down. So yeah, I will be back at 7 Eastern. And the cameras will not be freaking out like this.